Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'll be planning out my March reads, so we'll be doing my March TBR. I can't believe it's almost March already. This year has gone by so fast. I'll make another video about the books that I read last month, but in this video I'll be focusing on the books I'm gonna read in March. So my plan for this video is to take my bullet journal and then look at the books I'll be reading for book clubs, the books that I need to read for university, and then pick out some books from my shelf that I want to read this month for myself. So yeah, let's get started. So first off, I want to talk about this book, which is The Count of Monte Cristo. If you followed my vlogs, you know that I've been reading this book and that it's quite a big book. It's about 1300 pages. I have not yet finished this book, so I'll finish it in March for sure. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about this book, you can find them in my vlog. But just know that I've been really enjoying this book. I've been really enjoying to savor it, to not read it too quickly. So I'll get to enjoy more of it in March. This is the first book I'll be taking into the month with me. So now we're going to be looking at the books that I'll be reading for book clubs. The first book club that I'm in, it's the Game of Thrones book club, which is hosted by Emma from Emmy and Carolyn from Carolyn Marie Reads. I'll leave them down below so you can check them out. For March, I think we're doing a book every 2 months. So for March and April, we'll be reading Middlemarch by George Eliot. I'll have to see how far I'll get in March because it's quite a big book. We're all reading tomes, so all the books are going to be huge. We get 2 months for each book, and for March and April, the book is Middlemarch. I'm gonna see if my library app has this book so I can read it on ebook or audiobook because I don't have that book on my shelves. Let's see. Okay, my library app actually does not have this book either on audio or on ebook. So I'm gonna look at the library to see if I can loan the physical copy. Let's see, Middlemarch. I'll be really surprised if they have this book. Okay, they have the Dutch book in ebook version, so it's not in English, and I really want to read this book in English, so I guess that means I'll have to order it. Later I'll order all the books that I need to order, but now I'll try to find them in my library app. So the next book club that I'm in is the World Tour book club, which is also hosted by Emmy, and as I'm filming this video, the poll of which book we're reading next month is not yet decided, so it's not completely sure which book we're reading yet, but she gave us 4 options to choose between. I've looked at all the options and they all seem great, but there's one book in particular that really stood out to me. So regardless of what the poll chooses, I'm gonna read that one. It would be lucky if the poll actually chose that one, but regardless, I'll be reading that one. And that book is Nervous Conditions by Dangarembga. That sounds a lot like Danganronpa, but it's not the same, obviously. I'll be reading that book. It sounds so interesting. We'll be reading from the country Zimbabwe in March. This book is very famous. It's very short as well. All the books for the World Tour Book Club have been very short so far, so that's great. Yeah, this book sounds so fascinating, so I can't wait to get into this. I, of course, do not have this book yet, so I'm gonna look again at the library to see if it's over there. I'm doubtful if they have this book, but I'm gonna look anyway. Nervous Conditions. By the way, if you want to join any of these book clubs, I'll leave them down below. You can check them out. You can choose which months you want to participate or not. This month really sounded interesting to me, so I'll be participating for sure, but you can search it yourself. Actually, my library has the ebook, but again, it's not in English. And I really want to read these books in English so I can discuss them without having to translate everything myself. Yeah, and I just prefer reading in English. Let's see if I can order this one as well. I do have a gift card, so hopefully I can use this gift card to order this book. Hopefully if I order these books, they will get here before March. Wow, There is a big bird outside. Okay, sorry, I was a little distracted. Hopefully these books will get here before March so I can start them at the beginning of the month. I might do a little unboxing. If you like that, I might do it in the vlog. So yeah, those are the books that I'm reading for book clubs. So until now we've got 3 books already, and now let's look at the books that I will be reading for university. So let's get my syllabi and I'll show them to you. So March is exam month for me, which means that I'll be finishing all the books I'm reading for the courses. I'm not doing a literature degree, so I won't be reading novels or fiction. I'll be primarily reading non-fiction for these courses. I do count these books towards my reading goal. I do track them on Goodreads, but I won't discuss them in a wrap-up. I won't rate them at all. It's just non-fiction for university. I have 2 over here. I don't know if you can see. These are 2 books that I will be reading for one of my courses. They're both about 500 pages, which means I'll be reading 1,000 pages per course. So I do count them towards my reading goal, but I do not rate them or anything, and I will not discuss them in my wrap-up. I'll just make my exam and then I'll be done with them. So for this first course, I'll be reading these 2 books. Yes, they're statistic books, so wish me luck. But yeah, they're going on to the pile. Now, I'm taking 6 courses this block, so I have to read a lot of books. How my university works, they ask a lot of questions about the book, which are not discussed in the lectures. So I do really have to read the books in order to make the exam. So for this course, the book is, 1,065 pages. So I'll be reading a lot of pages this month. That's my sociology course. Then for personality disorders, there's also a book, and that book is only 280 pages, so that's fine. Then for advertising, the book is 500 pages, so let's add that one. And then for my last course, I'm only reading articles, which I'm not gonna count. Of course, there are a lot of reading as well, but I don't count them towards my reading goal or towards my number of pages. So for university, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and then these 2, so 5 books this month. I have exams at the end of March, so at the end of March they need to be all read and studied, but I've done that many times before, so it will be fine. So I already have 5 books, and then The Count of Monte Cristo, which is 6, then Nervous Conditions, which is 7, and Middlemarch, which is 8. So now we'll have to see if there are any books that I want to read for myself, which is not for book clubs or for university, but I already have 8 books over here. So I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done for myself this month. Let's look at my shelves, and then I'll get to pick some books that I want to read for myself this month. So I looked through my shelves and I thought, I'm already reading 8 books, so let's just add another 850 page book to my TBR. This is very ambitious, but to be fair, I already started it, so I just need to get it done in March, and I just know I'm gonna love it. Yeah, I'm so excited to continue this one. If you don't know, A Game of Thrones, I think you know, it's a popular series. This book is about a land where summers can last decades and winters a lifetime. Trouble is brewing, the cold is returning, and in the frozen wastes of the north of Winterfell, sinister and supernatural forces are massing beyond the kingdom's protective wall. At the center of the conflict lie the Starks of Winterfell, a family as harsh and unyielding as the land they were born to. So this book is a lot about nature, family drama. It's a fantasy, high stakes fantasy, so there's going to be a lot of fights, a lot of magical elements, and a lot of winter, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm very excited to continue this one, and I already made the promise that I'm gonna finish this book before the half of the year is over. So yeah, March is gonna be the month that I at least take a good chunk out of this and hopefully finish it. Then I also looked for more smaller books that I can read because I already added a lot of big books to my TBR. The next book I got is After Dark by Murakami. I got this book last month, and I got it because one of you guys recommended it to me. I read Norwegian Wood, and I asked you what is the best Murakami I can continue with, and you said After Dark, so I'm gonna read this one. It's about the people who live in the night, people who have nighttime jobs, people who take the last train, people who can't sleep, and it follows all the characters as they are living their lives in the night. And I'm really interested to read this. I might make it like a nighttime habit to read this. There are timestamps in this book, but I'm not going to be reading this book at 4 a.m. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this book is like and how it compares to Norwegian Wood, which I did like, but it was not my favorite. So yeah, that's After Dark by Murakami. I also added this shorter book, which is The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. This book is 150 pages, so it's also a smaller book. And I've heard just amazing things about this book. It's a retelling of fairy tales, but I believe more in a gothic, dark way. It's about Red Riding Hood, Bluebeard, Beauty and the Beast, vampires, werewolves, dark, fantastic stories. So I'm really excited about this one. I got this one for Christmas, so I really wanted to read it in December, but then just life got in the way, so I'll be excited to pick this one up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be reading all of these books because that's very ambitious. I believe I'm not at the count of 11 books, so that's gonna be very ambitious. But if I want a more smaller read next to my uni and my book club reads, I can pick either one of these to yeah, just for a little break from those big books. Those are the books that I'm going to be adding to my TBR. Now I'll be filling in my bullet journal and I'll be ordering the books that I have not yet gotten. Okay, I have my laptop here and I'm gonna order the books for the book clubs. I filmed this whole section where I was ordering them, but Amazon really wants to show your address. So I'm gonna do it like this to keep my privacy. Let's see. So first we have Middlemarch by George Eliot. I have no clue what this book is about. So George Eliot is actually a woman called Mary Ann Evans, and she used George Eliot as her author's name. This book was published in 1871, so it's quite an old book. Middlemarch is about the dynamics of marriage and social class in 19th century England. From hearing that can go in two ways. One, very boring and nothing happens, or two, Jane Austen, very interesting, very well written, a lot of beautiful commentary. So I'm really interested to see which way it's gonna go. If you've read it, please let me know in the comments what you thought about it. As I said, there are 3 editions that I really like, so please let me know in the comments which edition I should buy, and I'm also gonna do a poll on Instagram, and whichever one wins I'm going to order. Now we're also gonna look up Nervous Conditions. It's from the country Zimbabwe, so we're reading that for the World Tour Book Club. Okay, so it's about the journey of Zimbabwe to independence. We follow a 13-year-old protagonist. She really wants to have independence, be economically independent, and it's a coming-of-age story from Africa. So I'm really interested about this one. Let's see. They only really have one edition available, so I'm gonna have to order that edition. I hope it's not gonna be sad, because it sounds like a really devastating story, which can either go very beautifully or very tragically, and I'm hoping it's the first one. But usually unforgettable books are more tragic than happy, so I'm a little scared about that. This author has written more books, so I'm interested to see if I like this one, and maybe I can read some more of her work. So first we have The Count of Monte Cristo, which I'm not gonna add because it was already on my February TBR. So the first one is gonna be middle March. Then the next one is gonna be Nervous Conditions. And then I have some books for uni. And then the books that I picked out for myself, which are A Game of Thrones and After Dark by Murakami, and lastly The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carr. So as you can see, this TBR is really full. And then as I finish these books, they can go in my read blog. I also keep track of what I watched and what music I listened to this month. So I've made this book spread over here, which is my year-end books. And in each of these little books, I write down the book I read and then I color it accordingly. So we're gonna write down the books that I read in February. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments what you're reading in March, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!